Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As promised, I'm going to be talking about my skincare routine now that I'm 61. Have there been some changes into what I'm doing? We're going to focus on the morning routine, and actually, I've simplified things quite a bit. Now, obviously, you guys know I test a lot of products. I review them, devices, skincare products, but these are the basics that stay in my skincare routine that I do not miss, whether I'm testing something out or not. That said, if you happen to be new to my channel and not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert, though I'm not dressed like one today, I don't have my scrubs on. And I and my channel are all about helping you find skincare that's going to actually work for you, not empty your wallet, not do you more harm than good. And you're going to get this information for someone who's been walking the talk a really long time. So, starting with clean skin. Obviously, you want to start with clean skin. Now, I don't necessarily use a cleanser in the mornings because as I've gotten older, my skin has become drier. And normally what I do is just steam my skin with a warm washcloth for a couple of minutes just to get any residual skincare products out of my pores, to basically clean the surface of my skin without stripping my natural oil. Now, if you have oily skin, cleansing in the morning is absolutely fine. If you're doing slugging at night, where you're using a product that's maybe made out of petroleum or has some sort of humectant that makes a mask over the top of your skin, then yes, you want to rinse all of that off. Clean skin, number one. And those of you who have been following me for a while know the first two things I'm going to say is you need some sort of antioxidant serum. There are also products that are multitasking that have vitamin C, maybe caffeine, maybe they have peptides. All of those are fine. I'll put recommendations down in the video description box of what I'm using in the video today and what you could use for yourself. You can check those out. But peptides and vitamin C serum have been the number one steps in my routine for a very, very long time. There's been a change. I have added an exosome serum to my skincare routine. And exosomes are tiny vesicles which are released by your cells that carry proteins that help with collagen production, skin healing, using nucleic acids and lipids. So they're very important in the function and role of healthy skin, especially when it comes to aging. It's cutting edge technology in skincare right now. I did a whole video on this earlier in the week, which I'll attach to this one. You can keep on watching and watch what I talked about exosomes and why they're so important. But it's the first thing that I put on my skin now every morning. Now I, being me, have a prescription version of exosomes that I use at night. And I'll talk about that when I do the video on my nighttime routine at 60 or 61. But for my daytime routine, I'm using the Inky List Hydro Glow Complex. This is an exosome serum. So I'm going to put that on first. Takes a very, very little bit of this product. That much is more than enough to do my entire face. You can do your neck as well. Backs of the hands, arms, anywhere you're having signs of aging, and this absorbs really quickly into the skin. And that is my very first step, followed by Agireline. And Agireline we talked about a lot here on the channel. It's called Botox in a bottle. It's really not Botox, but it's a super peptide that helps slow down the communication in your muscles underneath your skin. So it's very minute what it does, but over time it can really add up to helping keep those dynamic wrinkles, the ones that happen when we smile, laugh, what have you, from forming those static wrinkles that stick around, like crow's feet, little tiny lines under the eyes. Nobody likes those. This can actually help. So I apply a little bit of Agireline, and this is a very, very wet serum. I just pat that in all around my eyes and my cheekbones, and it absorbs almost immediately. And a skincare 101 rule of thumb, we're always going to apply water-based products and serums first before any products that contain oils or emollients that would block the penetration and absorption of these super ingredients. Then, of course, a vitamin C serum. This is one by TrueSkin. It's a super serum. I even have a vitamin C serum in my own skincare line, my own formula. But this is a fairly inexpensive vitamin C serum, but I like the formulation again because it's a super serum, which means it also includes niacinamide to help with absorption, hyaluronic acid, and a buffered retinol. So you get all of that in one product. Just put a few drops on your fingertips and want to pat that in. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just treating my face. But in the morning, I would also treat the upper part of my chest, my neck, backs of my hands. Those are always included in both nighttime and daytime routines, but trying to keep this video short and to the point. So this caffeine serum, a really great formulation, multitasking, has argan oil in it, pomegranate, rose hip, and of course caffeine does a great job at helping to pull back those little tiny capillaries under the skin, getting rid of dark circles and any puffiness. I don't have any this morning, which is really great for me. But I'm going to put a little bit of this on anyway, just a few drops on my fingertips, and then pat that in just under and around the eyes. Let that absorb. And as it does so, it will tighten the skin under the eyes and will keep it that way even under cosmetics. So it's a really great step. I can feel that working right now to begin to tighten that skin, helps relieve those dark circles, helps speed up lymphatic drainage, which is what causes those little puffy areas under the eyes when we wake up in the morning. Now I want to step in and say there's a step that I intermittently do in my morning routine instead of the Exosome serum, and that is an exfoliating serum. This is a 14% glycolic solution serum from Alpha Skincare. I've been using Alpha Skincare products since the 80s. That's how long they've been around. What it does is help keep cellular exfoliation moving along on my skin, breaking down the bond between old dead skin cells and the new skin underneath. Now, I don't use it every day. I did all the way up into my 40s because my skin was a lot oilier then, but because it's drier, I only need to use it a couple times a week again instead of the Exosome serum. The next product I use in my skincare routine, we've talked about this one on the channel a lot. This is the one by Dermelect for spider veins, telangiectasias, those little really red veins that kind of break out underneath the surface of the skin. This helps get rid of them. It's their Vacal spider vein treatment, and it's a cream. You can use this as a moisturizer. It works very, very well as your moisturizing step. So if you have a tendency, as I do, to have a ruddier complexion with a lot of red in it, those tiny little veins that I'm talking about, you just pat this in, usually around the nose and the mouth is where they occur on guys, but they can occur anywhere on the face. I just use it as a general moisturizer all around my face, and I let that absorb. Again, there's a full video review on this product and why I use it and how well it can work. I will link to that down below in the video description box for you. Now, if you're not using a product like that for a moisturizer, you still need a moisturizer. And I've been recommending Polyglutamic Acid for a while now because it works so much better than hyaluronic acid. You can actually mix it into foundation and use it that way. But this is a super hydrating serum, Polyglutamic Acid Serum by the Inkey List. Again, the great thing about Inkey List is that their products are really relatively inexpensive and they work. So even though I just used the Vacal spider vein treatment, I'm going to go ahead and pat this in for the video just because it's extra hydrating. Stuff is amazing. And it gives your skin a very even, nice glow. You can see how nice, hydrated, and plump my skin looks and feels. And then, of course, it would not be me without bringing up the fact that you need to use a sunscreen. Any sunscreen that you will use is the sunscreen to choose. It can be a chemical sunscreen if you're fine with those. Mineral sunscreens, I like the hybrids where they take the least offensive chemical versions of sunscreen and pair them with mineral sunscreens. Tons of those out there. This is a daily mineral moisturizer by Muesli. I also love Dermatology's Universal Tinted Moisturizer, SPF 46, because of the tint. It gives you just a little bit of color so that that mineral doesn't really show up on the skin. And it can be used as a foundation to help hide any imperfections. Even on you guys, you're not going to notice it. It's not like makeup, just enough of a tint to really give your skin a nice, smooth, even complexion and look, hiding any dark spots or patches. You can see my skin looks really great. Let's take a close-up of this. Very super simple morning routine. Now, again, I test out a lot of stuff. If I weren't testing anything, day in, day out, this is the routine that I do right now at 61 to keep my skin hydrated, to keep cellular turnover moving, to keep the skin cells producing healthier cells, and to support collagen and elastin in my skin, keeping it nice and tight without having to use any treatments like Botox or a facelift. And if you're interested in exosomes, keep on watching because we're going to flow right into that video. Otherwise, I will see you at the very end of that with a video that I'll recommend for you to keep on watching and learning. So with that, I'm going to shut my mouth and let's learn about exosomes. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to be telling you about, explaining about something that is new in skincare, which we hear that a lot about new things, but this is cutting edge stuff that I'm going to be talking about today, and it has to do with a term you may have heard called exosomes. And exosome skincare is a big trend that everybody's talking about, so we're going to cover that in today's video. I'm going to talk about what it is, what it can do, and I'm also going to demonstrate how to use it. So if you happen to be new to me and my channel and not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert. I've been doing skincare for 38 years now. Boy, they're really adding up. helping folks like you find skincare that's going to actually work for them, not empty their wallet, and not do them more harm than good. So if that's the kind of content you've been looking for here on YouTube from somebody who's been walking the talk a really long time, well, you're in the right place. I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. But let's jump right in. What is exosome or exosomes? Well, exosomes are tiny elements or vesicles that come from your actual cells that contain bioactive molecules that contain proteins, nucleic acids, and lipids. And they've gotten a lot of attention lately because of their beneficial effects on skin aging, skin healing, and the regenerative process that your body already possesses when it comes to producing things like collagen and, of course, new skin cells. And when it comes to collagen production, exosomes simulate fibroblasts, which are the cells that actually help produce collagen in the body, leading to that all-important improved skin elasticity and wrinkle reduction. Exosomes also help promote skin regeneration, cellular turnover, which means they're very beneficial for things like acne scarring, hyperpigmentation, and even accumulated sun damage. Benefits we usually attribute to topical products like retinoic acid, which would be retinol over-the-counter or prescription Retin-A. Exosomes also contain all-important molecules that reduce inflammation in the skin and body, giving some excellent results when it comes to things like acne breakouts, rosacea, and even eczema. And exosomes certainly improve skin texture and tone by reducing hyperpigmentation and promoting overall skin rejuvenation. So how are exosomes actually used when it comes to anti-aging of the skin? Well, as you might suspect, this ingredient is included now in several brands of topical creams, lotions, and serums, so they can be applied directly to the surface of the skin. But more so when at-home or in-office treatments like microinfusion or microneedling have occurred, applying an exosome serum, whether it be a professional level serum, we're going to talk about that in a minute, or an over-the-counter serum, those treatments actually allow the exosomes to penetrate the skin further, giving some really fantastic results over time. Now, where exosomes can take a step further than topical products, they actually can be administered intravenously into the body, which gives systemic benefits for the skin and body from the inside out. They've been proven to be generally safe and effective with very few side effects, maybe some dryness, redness, or itching when you first apply them, but the body quickly acclimates to them much more quickly even than, say, a retinol or retinoic acid product. Exosome treatments, whether they're over-the-counter products, prescription, or in office, tend to be actually fairly inexpensive, with the exception of the professional level strength serums applied after microneedling or in intravenous use. And if you know me, you know I'm prepared to demonstrate how these work. I have both prescription level exosome formulation here for the video today, and I also have an over-the-counter option. That looks kind of crazy. Let's just fix that. Hair out of the face because we don't want to get that in the hairline. So let's first talk about prescription level exosome formulations. This happens to be one by Muesli. It also includes rapamycin. Again, this is a professional serum. It's refrigerated to keep it fresh and active. Whereas the over-the-counter version, which I'm going to share with you after this one, doesn't have to be refrigerated. Still powerful enough to give you good results, but at a much lower cost and with less housekeeping. Now, this particular serum, again by Muesli's prescription level, is called the Cell Repair Serum. Prescription formulated to increase the benefits of a topical application of both exosomes, which include iPSC exosomes, which are derived from stem cell in that technology, which are medically used in a variety of conditions, including wound healing. The big difference in this formulation versus over-the-counter, it contains prescription rapamycin. You cannot get rapamycin over the counter. Rapamycin is derived from an anti-organ rejection drug that work by slowing down the processes in skin cells that lead to aging and damage, and at the same time stimulating collagen production. Now again, I did a whole video deep dive on rapamycin and how it works. I was using rapamycin on its own late last year, so I will attach that video to this one so you can keep on watching when we're done here today if you're interested in a real deep dive on what rapamycin can actually do for skin. It's pretty fascinating and amazing. Very simple to use. This would always go on first in your skincare routine on clean skin at night. You simply would use one little pump. A little bit of this stuff goes a really long way, and you would pat that into the area you wanted to treat. and then follow with your other skincare products. Of course, I'll put a link down below in the video description box where you can find this prescription level product. It is going to be a little more costly. It's about $48 a bottle. You get 2 months supply, so it's going to cost you about $100 for a bottle of this. Will last 2 months, but it is prescription level skincare and it will deliver results. And if you've been a person who's had a problem using Retin-A or retinols, this could be your go-to replacement because it's going to give you similar, yet even somewhat more effective benefits over time. The before and after pictures, unretouched of course, that show the benefits of this product on skin are absolutely amazing. So something to go look at Muesli. Again, I'll put a link down below for them. But let's talk about the budget-friendly Exosome product that I'm going to tell you about today. And it's by the Inky List. It's their Exosome Hydroglow Complex. So it too is a mixture of ingredients that are going to help improve the signs of aging on the skin. But the exosomes are derived from cica, which is short for Centrella asiatica. You guys have heard me talk about that plant ingredient before. They're able to derive those exosomes directly from that plant and create a very effective product that doesn't need to be refrigerated. You use it twice a day, morning and evening, on the face and neck, and even the backs of the hands if you're trying to treat those areas. Delivers similar results, just using different types of ingredients in the formulation. Again, plant-based, like medicatic acid and medicoside, both ingredients that help speed wound healing. Again, similar, very similar results, giving skin those benefits of repair and regeneration. So different formulation, different ingredients, lead to similar results. Now, it's not going to work as quickly as prescription strength, obviously not. Doesn't contain rapamycin. However, it is a viable choice for this type of skincare and costs much less, about $22 for one of these. It'll last you about a month and a half. Again, you're using more morning and night instead of the one-time application. But I myself have been using exosome therapy for the last 4 months, particularly on my neck, the upper part of my chest, the backs of my arms, hands, and my face. And I'm seeing some really, really great results, especially on these other areas that have accumulated some damage over the years. So these are really cutting edge formulas, new in the skincare arena, giving some really fantastic results, all of them science backed, giving you a choice of prescription or over-the-counter options. Again, I'm attaching that video on rapamycin so you can keep on watching, but I hope you guys found this demonstration and explanation of exosomes and what they can do and why there's something you might ought to consider if you're showing the signs of skin aging, whether that's your 30s, 40s, 50s, or over 60 like me. Again, links below down in the video description box for both of these products for you to go look at and decide if they're right for you. And I'm going to shut up now and let's learn about rapamycin and what it actually can do for the skin, because it's some pretty fascinating stuff. The magic bullet to end body and skin aging. Mankind has been looking for the fountain of youth since time began. And in these times, we have indeed unraveled many of the mysteries that cause skin and body aging. And the information that I'm about to reveal in today's video is for sure cutting edge and not generally well known, but it portends some very big changes in the way we address skin and body aging. Now, this all started with a discovery from a soil sample from Easter Island in 1964. Interestingly, the year I was born. Very good year. The discovery made by a medical expedition. Now, this has led to a whole new approach and drug ingredient, if you will, that is proving to be a game changer for aging and skin aging, and I'm excited to share it and my experience with you. Now, if you happen to be new to my channel and not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert. I've been in skincare for 37 years. My channel bringing you the latest and greatest information on skin aging, wellness, and longevity. So if this is the kind of content you've been looking for here on YouTube, I hope you stick around and subscribe. For a while now, science, and especially skincare science, has turned its attention to the aging process at the cellular genetic level. Because after all, our bodies are made up of trillions of cells, 37 trillion to be exact, and their health and longevity determine everything from how healthy we are to how long we live. And of course, how our skin ages. For years, the big players in pro-aging for skin from science, the most effective, have been retinoids and of course sun protection or sunscreen. Two things I adopted in my early 20s that have truly shown benefits now that I'm age 60. That, along with fitness and diet, I certainly don't look or feel 60, more like in my 30s. So what is this anti-aging breakthrough that you really do need to know about? It's called rapamycin. And here is exactly what you need to know. On the surface, and one of its most powerful effects is to trigger the process of autophagy. Now, we've talked about autophagy here on the channel before. That is actually where your cells in your body break down diseased or dead cells, take them away and out of the body, and take the parts that are still good and rebuild new cells, concentrating on keeping your current cells healthier and alive much longer. What happens as we get older is autophagy can slow down significantly in folks. And while we've talked about mechanisms like intermittent fasting, and even taking certain supplements to help produce more autophagy, this is the first time that we've talked about a drug that's new that actually can create those benefits on the surface of the skin when used as a topical and as well when taken orally. Rapamycin's benefits include reducing the signs of skin aging, age spots, wrinkling, crinkling, breakdown of elastin and collagen. And in fact, I'm going to be sharing some studies with you, which I will put links for down below in the video description box, that have shown, hands down, rapamycin can reintroduce the process of growing collagen in skin. Rapamycin is a multifaceted drug with many uses in preventing and treating age-related issues like lifespan, age-related health concerns, and skin degeneration. In vitro studies have shown that rapamycin's ability to disrupt the mTOR protein. Suppressed mTOR tells your body's cells to suppress growth, signaling your body to actually conserve resources until more fruitful times. So how does this prevent and treat skin aging specifically, which of course is the subject of this channel? Well, the process of autophagy, removing those dead, senescent, or zombie cells, as we like to call them, helps your cells to repair themselves without having to grow brand new cells, which as we age results in geroconversion and skin and body degeneration. So because topical rapamycin on the skin encourages that autophagy process, it's going to help your skin renew itself and look much more youthful. That means increasing collagen production, decreasing the look of fine lines and wrinkles, age spots, and dark patches, and just basically all the signs of photo-aged skin, which again, as we've talked about before, 70 to 90% of the visible signs of aging on humans is from accumulated sun damage. And here's an even more interesting discovery that I think is amazing, is that it works well with retinoids. So while we have tretinoin on the high end of retinoids prescription strength, all the way to over-the-counter retinoids or retinol, which is working on the surface of the skin to help repair sun damage and also encourage collagen production, the inclusion of rapamycin actually gives your skin a double dose of powerful anti-aging. Just the beginning of this month, I began using prescription rapamycin as a topical applied to my skin once daily, only in the areas that I'm trying to treat, like the face, the neck, and the backs of the hands. I'm doing this because I want to assess the results for myself and then be able to share them with you guys. So if you're not subscribed, now would be a good time to do that. And for all of you, make sure your notification bells are on. So when that video comes out in about 60 days, you're aware of it and you can see what my follow-up progress and my thoughts are on rapamycin as a topical product for your skin. No matter the results or how it goes, you do not want to miss that video. And speaking of applying rapamycin to the back of my hands, there was another study done where participants applied the rapamycin topical to one hand and a placebo to the other hand, showed measurable improved collagen protein production, also less or fewer senescent cells, and overall diminishment in age markers at the end of that 8-month study. And in another study on rapamycin's effects on skin aging markers, participants were aged 40 and older and all showed diminishment of collagen production and age-related signs of aging. They also demonstrated improved skin appearance along with increase in collagen production, proving that this can be an effective anti-aging therapy even when it's started later in life, unlike other skincare treatments that have to be used over time to achieve benefits like sunscreen and retinoids. So we now have a new anti-aging agent that we're going to be hearing a lot more about as we move forward and as science and skincare takes a closer look at how to affect benefits at the cellular level, not just from topical products. And again, I'm going to link to the studies that I mentioned in this video down below in the video description box. And I encourage you to use those links, do your own research so that you're well informed and can make good skincare decisions as we move forward over the next several years. Now, I hope you guys found this video helpful today. I know it's not typical of the skincare channel because we usually focus down on products and how they work and who they're beneficial for. But I always want to bring you guys the latest and greatest information. And of course, I'm trying this product out myself, so you will be hearing about my results. That said, for even more ways to roll back the clock on skin and body aging, be sure to check out this video I picked out for you next. Thank you guys for tuning into YouTube today and watching the video, sharing it out. Stay beautiful, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you over on that next video.